to CTR Homeschooling TV, the place where learning, family, and community come together. Here we empower parents, spotlight innovative homeschooling resources, and bring you inspiring voices from all over the world. Get ready to learn, grow, and homeschool with confidence the CTR way. And just like that, hello everyone, and welcome to CTR Homeschooling TV. I am your host, yes, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, and I am so happy to be with you guys on today because we have a special guest with an S that's going to be with us on today with childcare. We hear a lot in the media, a lot going on in the industry in regards to childcare. How can you do it? Or you may be a parent that's looking for quality childcare. What are some things that you need to look for? We have some amazing people from all over the United States that's going to be speaking about childcare. They're going to be speaking from a childcare perspective, an educator's perspective, and a parent's perspective, okay? So I feel like this episode is going to be something that's absolutely amazing because it's going to touch a little bit of everybody that is watching, okay? And so before we get started, I want to bring on the lady who made this happen. Yes, Dr. Deshonda Jennings. Let me bring her on right now. And welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I am so happy to have you here today because you are all about our babies, honey. All about making sure they have a safe place, making sure that they have a voice, and also having quality childcare. So before we get started, I want you to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do and why you do what you do.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tina. My name is Dr. Deshonda Jennings, and one of the things that I do is I also teach current child care programs how to run a sustainable business, and I do that through my launch program in 90 days or less, as well as I'm also an educator by day, 9 to 5. I run a home-based child care business, and I think you kind of asked me, how did I get started?
How did you get started?
Where I first really took this thing serious when I got birth with my miracle baby. And I always tell everybody, she's the one that made me shift my career from corporate, working in accounting, business background. I shifted more so to the childcare industry, even though that was one of the things I kind of had a passion for anyway. I got serious with it after her birth.
Okay, so you got serious with it after her birth. So what made you say, okay, normally after you have a baby, you're like, okay, I'm gonna slow down. But you was like, I'm gonna do something. First of all, where did you get the energy? And third of all, what made you say, I'm gonna go from having a baby and then I'm gonna start this business?
Yes, and I always tell people like my backstory is so much, and I know we probably this ain't even for this whole interview today, but one of the things that made me shift because so much trauma, and I know I got some moms out there, you may have been through stuff, some of the things that made me dealing with unforgiveness, just the fear of trusting people, dealing with like a lot of hurt. Some people call it spiritual abuse, some people call it church hurt. I went through all those things. Being homeless at one point, living check to check. It was a number of things. And when I went from not being able to have any more children, because I did have kids before her, and to now I'm being blessed with this miracle baby, I didn't trust people. I'm like, I'm not leaving this baby that I couldn't have with nobody else. So that's kind of what made me make that shift.
Okay, and so that what made you make the shift. Now, we're going to fast forward all the
Yes.
way to this time right here because we're going to leave some of that for a one-on-one interview in the future. So
Yes.
we're going to transition this all the way until now because you did not only start a childcare business and teaching people how to duplicate what you're doing and became an author, but you decided to bring people along with you on the journey. Hence, you started books, opportunities, and then you also started this conference. So what made you decide to go from the book to this conference?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Because now I have a more better thing. It's all about the legacy now. Like I said, when I first did it, I first started from a place of fear, like not forgiving people. And fast forward, I realized that our kids are our future. And it takes a village in everything that we do, even along the journey. As a mom, we can't do it by ourselves. As a dad, as a teacher, it takes all of us. I call it the ecosystem. And I now take people through that journey because I'm still a mom, y'all. I got like 7 kids, 5 grandkids. And so it's all about keeping the passion, loving what you're doing without getting burnt out. Because a lot of times in this space here, you get burnt out. We still have some of those who just doing it because of their passion, but it's bigger than just your passion. It's about leaving that legacy. Like, what are we making for the next generation behind us?
Yes, I agree. We when we find something that we love that actually make our heart beat, and we will do it even if we don't get paid, we can tend to go a little overboard, speaking of myself, because burnout is real. And so
Yes.
what I particularly like what you did, you decided to share the knowledge that you know. You actually extended the opportunity to other people, bringing different perspectives together on various different topics surrounded by our children, so that we can truly not just be passionate about what we do, but like you said, build that legacy. And then you had this conference. And right now, what I want to do, because I want to show you guys, she is not just saying this, she is actually building legacy. But get this, not by herself. She has some amazing people backstage that you're going to meet after we take this commercial break. Okay, so we're going to take a commercial break, and then you're going to see some beautiful faces, and we're going to get to know each and every one of them. And then we are going to bring on Dr. Deshonda again to do a beautiful wrap up. Okay, and so we're going to have a commercial break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Hi, my name is Dr. Deshonda Jennings. At today's annual Child Care Conference, we brought together not only parents, but we brought together educators, those in the child care community to one location. We also recognize them for the work that they do. Because being in this space, a lot of times we don't get the recognition. And at the beginning of the conference, we had amazing keynote speakers. They told us about child development, about behavior, about, hey, you know, are we doing this for a legacy or are we doing this for a check? And even if we're doing it for a check, what is our strategy? What is our plan that we can leave a legacy for our family? And we have wrapped up the conference. We had amazing vendors. We had our VIPs. And we even gave out a grant, y'all. Yes, today's conference, we gave out a $1,500 grant. Next year, we're going to double that. You got it here on video. I said it first. We're going to give out another grant at the next conference. It's going to be bigger and better than this conference.
And just like that, we are back, and we come along not just with us again. Let me show you how we multiply. Yes, there they are. Yes, have fun as we talk about our children. I like to quote the late but great Whitney Houston, who coined the song, "I believe the children are our future." And if we teach them well, we can let them lead the way. So this is the foundation that we and all of these amazing ladies are building, because it's not just what we put in, it's what we leave behind. And so now we're going to meet all of these amazing women who are leaving behind the legacy to make the world a better place, one child at a time. So we have LaJoyce Lewis. She actually speaks about the topic of leading with purpose in early childhood education. We have Dr. Mayeva Clark, from Meltdowns to Meetups, the Safe Parenting Method. And we have Dr. Evangelist Bertha D. Wilson. She talks about from paycheck to purpose. So as you can see, we have a well-rounded conversation that we are about to have. And you know, I did it on purpose. You know, I know y'all want to talk about that money first, but you're gonna have to wait for Dr. Bertha. Yes, you are. We didn't talk about the money first. We talk about the babies first, and we're gonna end with the money, but we're gonna talk about the babies. Okay. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna go to LaJoyce Lewis, because her topic in particular was talking about leading with purpose in early childhood education. So could you tell us, before we go into that, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, LaJoyce.
Okay. So my name is LaJoyce Lewis. I'm the owner and founder of Lady L's of the Angels Daycare here in Hopewell, Virginia. I am the author of Journey of Early Childhood Educator. I'm also I have my own women's ministry as well, and I just love what I do. I just love working with the babies. It's just such an amazing opportunity.
So what made you decide to go into working with children? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or was it something that you was led to do it?
I was more so, it was something that I wanted to do. I always enjoyed working with children. It was my biggest passion. It was just amazing. I love working with kids. Just to see them just walk through the doors and just put that smile on your face when you're having a bad day. So I enjoy what I do.
So do you do childcare, or how do you work with the children?
Even though I'm a director, I also work with the kids. I will go get on the floor with them kids, play some games with them. I would even paint my hands with them and put it on the paper or make turkeys and stuff like that. So I will also do that as well.
Okay. So can you share, because it's so many people that's watching today that's starting to get or having the desire, I should say, that they want to go into childcare, but they just don't know what or how to start. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got started with childcare, and maybe if someone wants to try to start it, how they can do it?
Well, what really encouraged me to do was because it was so hard trying to find childcare for my kids, and especially that dependable person that you really want to be dependable to watch your children. And it was so hard. So I started in my home first, and I did it in my home for like 5 years. And then I ventured out and started working at daycares. And I was like, I'm tired of working for people. It's time for me to venture out on my own. So I was working with this one company. And when I say the boss that I had, to have a boss to be by your side, to go with you to the interviews, to meet with the people, to get the building and everything, she was by my side 100%. And I ventured out. I stepped out on faith. I came in with no money to get a building, nothing. I didn't have anything. I did it, just stepped out on faith and said, hey, I trust and believe. I trust the process. And that's what I did. And that's how I got where I'm at today.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So when we think about, because I know that you was led to do childcare, but now I'm thinking about as building legacy, because Dr. Deshonda spoke about before we went to the break. We have passion. Mm-hmm. We all have passion when we're working with children, and you have to love as well. But as a childcare provider, what are you doing to make sure that you keep yourself well? Because we are so working on helping everybody else. Do you make the time to help LaJoyce?
I can truly say at one time I did not. But after meeting with Dr. Deshonda and working with her, you have no choice but to take care of yourself. That is her biggest thing. She can have a webinar, she can have a conference, she can have a whole lot, but she's going to talk about that, taking care of that self-care for yourself. And that's one of the things that I have learned to do. I have truly learned when I go home on the weekends, I do no work. I do no work. I try hard not to do no work, but I have been doing pretty good not to do no work. I think I text Deshonda and say, hey, what do you think about this book? So, but I try very hard not to do no work. So truly, I give all praises to her, because if I feel like if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, because I would still be doing for everybody else and saying, forget myself.
I appreciate your honesty and transparency, because the truth of the matter is all of us have been where you are. And honestly, some of us may still be there from time to time. And that, I want everybody to understand that's watching and listening, that is a part of the process. But I need you to pay attention to the words that came out of LaJoyce's mouth. She has I like to call them in the homeschooling community, homeschooling buddy, but we can call him childcare buddy over here. You have to have somebody in your life that is going to help you be accountable, not only to make sure that you're doing business right, but most of all, you're doing yourself right. Okay, because when you are in a industry where you are being selfless, you have to learn to be a little selfish when you need to build and take care of your health, because you can't pour from an empty vessel. Okay, you cannot pour from an empty vessel. And so for all the child care providers, all the homeschooling moms and dads and grandma and grandparents that are homeschooling their children, you have to make sure that you add rest into the equation of the overall of who you are and what you do. So I am going to come back to you again, LaJoyce, but before I do, I want to talk to Dr. Maeva Clark. She talks about from meltdowns to meetup, the safe parenting method, because I want to go back because I want to get a little bit about what you guys were talking about at the conference, but don't give them all of it though when I come back. Just a little taste. But Dr. Maeva, you actually speak about some things that's near and dear because we have something in common. We both have a child on the spectrum. We both have children with, well, they're not children. Let me straighten that up. Young men. Young men. So tell us about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Thank you for having me and for being here. My name is Dr. Maeva Clark, and I work with parents and caregivers of neurodivergent children who feel overwhelmed, unseen, and basically just stretched so thin that people don't even realize it. I help them rediscover their joy, their peace, and their purpose without sacrificing their love and care they have for their children. So that is what's very passionate to me because I was one of those overwhelmed parents. I was near burnout and stressed and took care of everybody else and didn't take care of myself. I thought that it was selfish to take care of myself. And like LaJoyce, I had to learn that self-care is not selfish, it's necessary. And I just praise God for learning that valuable lesson. And I work with other parents and caregivers who find themselves overwhelmed to learn how to regain their strength and purpose.
So when I think about you're working with not only children, but you have a different layer. You have neurodivergent children, which some people may not understand the new terminology. Which could you explain to the ones who are watching what does neurodivergent mean?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. Neurodivergent refers to the way an individual's brain behaves, uh, learns, or receives information that is considered different than what's normal or neurotypical. And some examples of neurodivergence would be autism, ADHD, and dyslexia. So neurodivergent is just an umbrella term for how a person's brain receives information or processes information differently.
When you think about being a parent and then you, as a mother, you know when you feel like something is a little different with your child. Maybe they're not responding the way that your other children did, or maybe it might be your first child. Can you share a challenge you had to overcome that shifted or strengthened the way that you showed up for your child or children in your family?
Absolutely. So my son isn't on the spectrum. He does have learning disabilities,
Mhm.
and um, he is my firstborn. But he has two first cousins, one that is 3 months older than him and one is 6 weeks older than him. So as he was growing, my husband and I, he was like when he was about a year old, we noticed that he wasn't doing some of the things that the other kids were doing. And for example, when they would throw a ball, they may throw a ball across the room. His ball would go 2 to 3 feet and fall. So he didn't have the dexterity for that. And when kids are toddlers and they could put a straw in the juice box, he wasn't able to do that. So it was little things that we were picking up on. And we had family members who said, well, he's fine, he's fine. Everybody's different. Everyone grows at their own pace. And yes, that's true. But as things kept progressing, we looked at each other and said, can everything be a coincidence?
Right.
Is everything at its own pace? And so where some parents may be in denial and say to other people, nothing's wrong with my child, we were the opposite because we noticed the differences between he and his cousins. And we're the ones that pushed to have him tested. We talked to the pediatrician who referred us to the intermediate unit, and we had things progress. And to any parent out there, whether you suspect something yourself or if someone is telling you that something's wrong, I think and highly recommend that you get your child checked out immediately, because the best case scenario is nothing's wrong and you go home but you have peace of mind, right? But what if there is? What if there is something that their child needs help with? The sooner you get it, the better, because if it's just a small gap in the education system or with physical, occupational, or speech therapy, the sooner you get them the help, then you can close that gap, and they may not need services forever. But the longer you prolong it, the more the greater the gap may be, and the more services may be needed to close that gap. So no matter who suspects it, I highly recommend the sooner you get them tested, the better, even if it's just for your peace of mind.
Yes, I know for me, early intervention was the key.
Mhm.
My son got officially diagnosed with autism at 3.5 years old. And so, and I was that opposite of you. I was
Hmm.
that parent that was in denial. I went through all the stages. I was mad. I was angry. Why my child did what? Why me? All these different emotions that just challenged my faith. Let me just keep it real. It challenged
Hmm.
my faith. It challenged my identity as not only a mother, but as an educator, because I was cool with being a voice for the voiceless, going because I was a special needs education behavior specialist in the public school system. So I was fine with helping other people's children get through it. But when it was my child, that was hard to swallow, because it was like I felt like I did everything I could do, took the vitamins, did all the things. I'm like, how did this happen? Like maybe I should have took all them prenatals. I don't know. But anywho, so I was the complete opposite of you.
Hmm.
However, I understood the process because so many of my students went through the process being in special education. So I went through the steps, but reluctantly, okay, because I knew what to do. Okay. And so, but I am so glad that I did, because it helped my child get different services, like you were saying, be more self-aware. And I was able to not only, I was better. It was more than just having textbook knowledge now. It was having real life experience. And it actually, having my child, it actually helped me see things in me. So I feel like he's a gift, because it really helped me a whole lot, in both of my children, but it helped me see myself. And so I tell you, you guys, you're not alone. If you do think your child may be neurodivergent or fall up under that umbrella of different things that could be, uh, you have all of these amazing ladies that have some sort of experience in the educational industry. So reach out for help, okay? One thing that I would tell parents, don't do it alone. It's easy to isolate yourself. You need help. You need help. And it does not make you a bad mother or father to say that I need help. Okay, because we get so in our heads. So with that being said, I want to ask you one more question before I move on to Dr. Bertha, because everybody can feel the tension in the room. They want to know about Dr. Bertha. I can feel it in the room. They want to know, but you're going to know, but you're going to wait. One more question. All right, so with children that falls into the neurodivergent children, or I would say young adults that fall into that category, our children are so innocent, so that you need to protect them. And we have the internet, we have social media. So how do you, or have you put anything in place to be able to help our children be protected as they're on this digital space of social media, which can be very, very dangerous in itself?
Absolutely. Before I answer that question, I just want to acknowledge something you said when you went through the different phases and things. I just want to acknowledge that I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And when you do all the things that you think you're being led to do by God and everything, you may think that life is going to be without bumps and curveballs and things, but that's not so. When life happens to you and situations like unexpected happen, it's not that having a relationship will prevent it, it's having a relationship will get you through it. Having a relationship will guide you and carry you when there are times that could possibly feel hopeless or overwhelming. And I experienced some of that throughout the process, because not only did I have my son, I have a daughter who has several medical challenges. So I just want to acknowledge to the parents that may be struggling right now. As Dr. Tina said, don't do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. And I do have a support group for parents and caregivers of neurodivergent children, because I don't want anyone to feel alone in this journey. Now back to your question about keeping kids safe. As you know, when you have children that have unique abilities, some of them can be the most loving, passionate, innocent people because a lot of times they're emotionally and socially behind, kids can run over them. And that was my son. My son experienced that. So to make it short, when he graduated from high school, he was in his freshman year in college. My husband asked him, what do you wish you had that you didn't have that could help kids today? And he said, I wish that I could create an app that would keep kids safe online who might not have the village and network that I had growing up. And so he came to me and we developed a social media app that is designed to be a precursor to social media. It teaches bullying identification, is geared towards children 9 to 13. We focus on the neurodivergent population for the sense that there are some of the more vulnerable people, but it could be for any child. I'm very pleased that we are rolling it out now, and I will be sending you an invite, Dr. Tina, for the information session just to see how it works. And I'm very, very pleased and proud of it.
Well, I'm happy to hear it because that's something that the community need. And I'm glad that you said it's not just for neurodivergent, because let's just face it, all the children at this point is vulnerable with what we have to deal with. I mean, AI is good, but then AI also open up different things because it's hard for children to pick reality from what is fake. Okay. And so they don't have the emotional intelligence to decipher it. They need to be taught. And so I'm so happy that you're bringing something like this to the table that can actually help them be able to identify, because they don't have I would say, they don't have the language to understand bullying, especially when it's done with someone not in your face all the time. It's done online. And so it's a different type of thing. I say it's a different type of enemy that they have to face. Now I ain't gonna get to preaching because y'all know I do it, but I'm not gonna do it. But but somebody else might do it on here because we got some lovers of the Lord on this video, on this interview. I'm gonna try to keep it good. I'm gonna try to be good. But anyway, so I'm glad that you're actually doing that as well. So what I want to do now, because I could just feel it, they ready for Dr. Evangelist Bertha Wilson. They ready for us. So she up here talking about from paycheck to purpose, and with all this going on with the economy, everybody want to know somebody for money. Okay. So tell us about yourself and what you do and why, and what you do. We're going to start there first.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us. And I want to thank my daughter. I call her my daughter. I'm so proud of her. I mean, I'm just so excited and thankful that she came into my life. Anyway, so we've been knowing each other a little while. As you say, my name is Dr. Bertha Winston, and I help individuals and families break free from financial stress, eliminate debt, repair their credit, and build lasting wealth. And I do that with strategies and tools and things that I've used myself before going into this arena. And the reason I'm so passionate about it, at age 62, I just had a birthday yesterday, 75 years young.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And at age 62, I wanted to retire. But when I checked my finances, I was not financially set to retire. So that caused me to work an extra. I didn't have to work 10 more years, but I ended up working 10 more years. So I just retired in 2023 at age 73. I don't advise anybody to work that long, but I didn't mind because I liked what I did and I loved my job. So I was okay. And me and my boss was cool, and I said, why go home and sit down when I could be working and, still building, my portfolio. So that gave me the reason that, okay, if I'm in this predicament, I know for sure there are others, parents or individuals out there with the same scenario. So that's what got me into the arena. So when I wanted to retire and couldn't, I started working strategies, how to eliminate debt, how to become debt free. And that led me into where I am now, teaching other families how to maneuver through the debt cycle. Because, 80% of individuals now, they are in debt up to their necks, and they don't know how to get out of it. So I always tell them that you can't work your way out of you can't work your way to wealth. You got to strategize your way. So you got to change your mindset about money and the things that you are doing, and you got to put some systems in place in order to get there. You didn't get in debt overnight, and you're not going to get out overnight. But I always say, in order to get you got to get started. You don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to be great. So that's where, you got to start somewhere. So when you think of when you change your mindset and you begin to change the way you think about money and what you do with it, then you can make some changes in your finances. So being in this platform, we have to teach our children about finances. Because, it's good to, to teach them all the other things, but we got to teach them about finance too and how it works and start them young. If I had the systems and things that I had when I was coming up, I wouldn't have been in that predicament at age 62. But you got to start somewhere. So that's what got me into that arena.
Yes. And so with what you do, which is being a financial advisor and helping people build that wealth, what made you decide to come into the childcare or the educational realm? Because more than likely you hear about ones who helping to build wealth. You hear about them in entrepreneurship arenas, but not so much focused on families and children. So what made you decide to be different and go into childcare?
I'm not into childcare. I'm in the financial arena because I knew Deshonda, she wanted me to come and talk to the parents about finance because we have to leave legacies for our kids. And we don't want to leave them generational wealth. I mean, debt. We want to leave them generational wealth. So I came to encourage them to start teaching the kids, even in the daycare, start teaching them about how to invest, how to become debt free, and how to save money, and those kinds of things, because they need to know, because you're not going to always be there. So you want to leave them a legacy. You want to leave them a blueprint. You want to teach them that, hey, money supposed to work for you, not us always working for the money, And most individuals are living paycheck to paycheck because even six figures, they are living paycheck to paycheck. They look successful on the outside, but on the inside, they're drowning in debt because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. The way with the Joneses, do your work and have a legacy when you retire. You need money. You don't need the most latest style. You need to leave something for your children, and your children need to see that you have a handle over spending money. We are the highest consumers in the world because every little gadget come out, we have to have it. Well, you are making them rich. Why not make yourself rich? Because the Bible tells us that the borrower is slave to the lender. We're supposed to be the lenders and not the borrowers, And he also said, the poor, we're going to always have the poor with you, but you don't want to be poor. He said, he gave us power to inherit wealth. God gave us that power. So we see that LaJoyce and Deshonda and Dr. Maya and you are leaving a legacy. You are leading people into areas that they don't even know about. And so you are leaders. So lead them into financial literacy and put some things in place for them to they don't teach it in college. They don't even teach it in high school. So we as parents, if we start them young, like I always tell people, young people, when you first start your job, if you start putting away $25, $50, by the time you retire, you'll be a millionaire. You got to start early. And I always tell my clients, use the 10-10-80 rule. We never think about paying ourselves. We pay Netflix, we pay Verizon, all of them people, and we buy all these things, but we never think about paying ourselves. So if you take 10%, which, if you're a Christian, you're going to tithe, or if you're not, you can give to a charity. 10%, you got to pay yourself 10%. I told myself, if Uncle Sam could get 20 or 25% of my money before I get it, I'm the one working, not Uncle Sam. So I need to pay myself too. So I pay God 10%, I pay myself 10%, and the 80% go to bills and whatever. So these are things that we need to be teaching our children now. So when they get our age, they be financially set. God said he wished we prosper and be in health, even as our soul prospers. We need to be prosperous. And so that's what I do. I tell people how to get there. It's up to them what they do, but I instruct them and tell them and show them how you can do it. First thing they need to do is start a budget. And that's a bad word for most of us. So I'm gonna stop right there.
Listen, once you get into the kingdom and you understand wealth, that's a good word to you. Once you understand the kingdom, you be like,
Yes.
budget is my friend. Okay, but that's another interview, y'all.
That's another interview.
That's another interview. But I told you all of us couldn't be on this TV show today without somebody saying something about the Lord. I knew it once I got all this together. I said, ain't no way we gonna get through this interview without saying the Lord something.
Yeah.
Some script. I knew it. I done called it. But anyway, the thing is this though, Dr. Bertha.
Yes.
You're right about finances. That is one thing that we are never taught. We're taught to be consumers. We're taught to spend.
Yes.
And to be honest, we're taught to work until we die.
That's right.
That's basically what we're taught. It's systematic.
Yes.
And so I'm glad that you decided to take your gift, skills, and talents into the childcare community, because not only do the children need to know, the parents need to know.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, it took me after becoming an adult before I start even understanding what finances really was. I just felt like, okay, I got to work and pay these bills.
Yes.
What else is there, you know?
Yes.
And so to bring up that topic, and like I said, the language.
Yes.
The children hearing words like finance, hearing budget, hearing legacy, and having a strategy. Like, I don't even know if you guys caught this, but she gave y'all the strategy. Y'all better write this down. That 10%. 10% time, 10% to herself, 80% be divided wherever else it needs to go. She just gave y'all the blueprint. Now, if you want some more detail, customized to what it is for you, you need to go to her. Okay. But I'm just saying, you need to listen more than you talk. She just gave y'all something. I had to just bring that back. Okay. Don't say I never gave you that. Hey, you missed it.
They got the plan. They all have to do is implement it.
Yeah, you got it. And so the thing of the matter is, and I don't think you guys really heard what she said, you do not have to be rich to build legacy. You work with what you already have. You don't have to go find money. You work with the money you already have. So don't think that wealth is just for the rich or people who are at a certain, if you got to be six figures before you can save. You can do this making $20,000 a year.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Working at McDonald's.
Yes. It's not how much you make, it's what you do with what you got.
Now, see that part right there. Okay, so we need to start changing the way that we have our relationship with money and stuff like that. So I'm glad that you actually brought that to the conference, because that's something that is universal, no matter what age, what profession you're in. We all need to understand how our money flow. They call money a currency for a reason. Currency, it flows. But if you don't do what it's supposed to do, it's not gonna flow. It's gonna be stagnant. So you want your money to move. Okay. And so thank you.
You have to assign it. Tell it where to go. Because if you don't,
we about to get go and get into some Bible study up here when we talking about we
assign your money. Tell it where you want it to go.
They don't know. But anyway, she's right. She is absolutely right. You have to assign it. But again, we ain't giving you no more. You're gonna have to get her link
one-on-one, yes.
And she will be telling you all about how to assign it and how you make it do what it's supposed to do and not what you've been doing. Because that's why you getting what you have. And so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to the lady of the hour, the woman who brought all this together, Dr. Deshonda Jennings. And you talked about self-care for leaders sustaining your vision and energy. So give us a little piece of why you decided to speak about that particular topic.
Okay. Well, always, like I say, I'm a mom, and I understand not just as a mom, but an educator. We take in a lot. Sometimes in the childcare space, if you run a program, you may be the teacher, you may be the director, you may be the cook, you may be the therapist. We wear so many hats within our business. And like you said it best, Dr. Tina, you can't pour from an empty cup.
No.
If we're empty, how are we going to sow into the children, which is the future? You
Yes.
deplete it. So I knew that for me, self-care was that missing piece. And I'm not the only person out here to be like, okay, my life is together. I want to say Dr. Myra said it, even as a caregiver, you have to make sure that you're taking care of you. So that's why it's so important for leaders, especially if you have a team, how you going to lead your team if you burnt out? You can't lead your team if you burnt out. So that's why that self-care piece is so important. It's missing a lot in this space.
Yes.
It is. And I want to just say this. You're not just saying it, but you're doing it.
Yes.
For those of you who are trying to figure out, well, how am I going to do this? How can I do it cost effective with actually making friends, meeting? Because I tell you not to be by yourself. You don't have to do anything alone, right? Well, how can I meet in the like-minded individuals that want to help the children, that parents want to have something better for themselves and their children? Well, guess what? Dr. Deshonda, she got the child care conference and family cruise, honey. So they're gonna be talking about child care. They're gonna have she said bring the family.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about what's gonna go, how it's gonna be at this particular cruise, because you putting the parents on the water, honey. Tell what made you do this?
I would say a couple of years ago, I came up with the vision of a collaboration book. And even with the conference, the cruise, it just shows how you can really work together with others in the same space. Just because you're another childcare educator, it does not mean we can't collaborate. And I'm so grateful that some of the co-authors from the book, we do business together. Like we don't just create a book and that's it, a one and done. We also still collaborate. And those same authors, we have Miss LaJoyce is going to be on that cruise. Sharon, which is in Atlanta, Georgia. She's a child care consultant. She's going to be on the cruise. Yolanda Ritchie, which is also a child care consultant here in Virginia. She's going to be speaking on the cruise. She's not on here, but Inga, which spoke at the conference, she coming on the cruise, y'all. So y'all, listen, you got to come on the cruise if you want to know about the grants and the money, because in this space we need it, even as parents. So make sure you join the cruise. And then not only are you going to be able to relax, because I'm a mom, right? And because I talk about the legacy, so everything that I do is not just I'm doing stuff for other people's children. I have to take care of my home, my kids first. So my kids is coming on the cruise, but us, it's going to be like a weekend getaway. And as an educator, we got to do professional development. So what better way to mix professional development with fun, with networking, meet other people that's doing what you do, for my parents, to meet other parents. You might meet somebody who's like, hey, my child's the same age as yours. You can build community and connect. And listen, the best part about it, we have our cruise, and I can't wait to go, unlimited eating. Yes, I said that right. You ain't got to worry about cooking, ain't got to worry about cleaning up behind yourself. So if you've never been on a cruise, like this cruise is for you. It's a short cruise. You don't have to worry about being on the water for 7 days, 10 days. It's a weekend. Good Friday, we sail out. We come back that Monday morning. So it's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday cruise. If you're an educator, you get your professional development hours and you get to have fun. And everything is included unless something beyond the water and the fruit juices. That's another whole story. You have to pay for that. But everything else is unlimited eating. Like when I say unlimited eating,
Yeah.
I can't wait to go just to eat, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, who don't need a break? Mothers in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You have to work a full-time job, then come home and cook and clean and take care of everybody like you ain't just work a job. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you work a traditional 9 to 5. So it's going to be something where you're going to be able to learn and relax, know the kids are okay. For those of you who may be saying, I'm looking to take a vacation, I just want it to be family friendly, where here it is.
Yes.
Because it's some cruises and some events, it's just not for the family, okay? So this is definitely something that you can take your family to, this particular event on this cruise, and you can learn if you want to know more about childcare, or just simply just branch out and do something different to kind of get your feet wet. This is going to be in April, so make sure to check it out, and you'll be able to go to her website. We'll have all the information in the description of this particular interview video, and reach out today, because slots are picking up, or I would say they're going to be gone, because people, they want to they need a vacation. Okay, at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do, because we kind of already talked about every topic that you guys talked about at the event. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one more question. If you have something that you would like to add or something that you would like to share, then you can do that. And then we're going to do one more question after that, where you can kind of tell people how they can find you with your information and all that good stuff like that. And so the question that I want to ask you is this. When we think about childcare in general, as it continues to evolve with new trends and technology that overall is shifting family needs, how do you stay adaptable while staying rooted in what you have for your mission of why you know that you're doing what you're doing? So how do you stay grounded? Anybody can answer that. If you
I'll
have
jump
something to say.
in. I say the reason, and I always tell people that the reason how I stay grounded to my mission, because remember when I first got started in this space, it was more so starting from a place of fear, not trusting people with my child. But as I fast forward, staying rooted, meaning attending conferences, attending events, networking with like-minded people, I stay rooted to my mission because I understand it's not about the money. And what I mean by that, if I have a child in my care and I have done all that I can do and I have shared the resources, I would be doing that family a disservice. It's just not help them move on. And what I mean by that, like sometimes, unfortunately, we have to dismiss. I brag on I have a 98% keep rate, 2%, and maybe that 1% of family left, or the 1% we couldn't serve. So to stay rooted to my mission, if I know that I cannot provide the care that your child needs, I'm going to do all that I can to make sure I refer you to someone that can. It ain't about the money for me. It's so many kids in the world. And I would say staying true to who I am as a mom, I would want that same respect if somebody had my child in their care and my child, either their program was not a good fit for my child, or my child may not be a good fit for their program. So I keep the transparency, and I think with the transparency and being authentic, that's how I stay rooted to my mission.
That's really good, because at the end of the day, we would love to be able to have the ability to help everybody, but the truth of the matter is we can't help everybody. We no matter what you do, you're not the right fit, or I'm not the right fit for everybody. And having the maturity and the willingness to say, after you hear what their needs are, you're like, I'm just not a right fit for you, but I know someone who is. Now that is taking it to the next level. I'm one of those people like that too. Now in the past, back in the day, I would take everybody, but Tina now, I say, oh, that's not what I do. But I know somebody that do that, all right? And so that I feel that will be able to service you better and give you exactly what you want, okay? And so at the end of the day, that is very, very good. Dr. Ava, I am so sorry. Do you have anything else you would like to share with us about what you do? Or you can piggyback off of that question, because you fall into the category with technology.
Yeah.
That's your area.
So yes, I would like to piggyback off of that question. And my business is CASEN, Collaborative Advancement for Social and Emotional Needs. And again, I started this with my son from a pain point, and he didn't want other children to go through experience some of the anxiety and depression that he experienced from social media. So that's how it started. But we have evolved to do outreach. We've evolved into courses and things. So how we stay relevant is our motto is um, keeping kids safe online and protecting them from all forms of bullying and educating children, parents, and educators about the different types of bullying because sometimes kids are bullies and don't even realize that they're bullying people because they think it's just physical and they figure if I'm not hitting you, I'm not bullying. But there's verbal bullying, social bullying, um, there is cyberbullying, and then the physical bullying. So our mission is to educate people and to educate parents and caregivers of the need to protect their children and to talk to their children who may be bullies and not even know it. So it's a all inclusive thing. But as we're doing it, we're also doing social and emotional learning and teaching for the children because we want to bridge the gap between what they're learning in school to what they're doing at home. And we use different social media platforms to educate them and to make them aware. So I think we're very relevant right now, especially with all of the, like you said, AI
Mm-hmm.
um, things, what's real, what's not real. We want to teach kids not to compare their average life to somebody's perceived real life
Well,
that's not even real. It's what they want them to see. So we do all of that to educate them to protect their mental health and to help them just be responsible online.
I like the fact that you're bringing up mental health for the children at a young age. Because let's face it, our generation did not talk about mental health. Well, I can't speak for you. I know mine did.
no,
You
me
know,
Mhm.
that
neither.
was not a
Mhm.
topic where it said,
Yeah.
let's make sure your mental health is correct. The
Mhm.
words was what they would say if something was going on, you better pull yourself together.
Mhm.
you better, you better get it together, girl. But if you don't know how am I supposed to do it? You know,
Mhm.
so
Right.
I'm glad that you mentioned, and it makes me think about how it's the parallel of what Dr. Bertha does. You're
Mhm.
starting early with finances, getting the languaging, so they can understand, they can get comfortable. The words that normally will trigger negative responses like budget with certain generations. Now you're building up this vocabulary, this terminology with finances that they're comfortable. It is not triggering in a negative way. It's
Mhm.
triggering them to action in a positive way, and they're not afraid of finances. Just
Exactly.
like what you're doing, Dr. Mayaville, with the emotional intelligence, because that's something I speak about that a lot. We don't ever talk about the mental health or the emotional intelligence of young people until there's a problem.
Right.
Until there's a problem where you label them as a bad child. Okay. And so I like that you get into that before that happens because now you're making them aware like, okay, let's talk about these emotions. Okay, let's talk about these behaviors. Okay, this is what you do. This is what you don't do. This is what it looked like. Did you know that you're a bully? I was a bully.
Mhm.
That's bullying. And so I'm glad that you're having these type of conversations because at the end of the day, if you don't, if that's all you know, you don't realize that you're doing something wrong until someone helps you see it. And so, and we need that with our young people.
Can I just add one thing to that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
On the
Yeah.
flip side, when you think of our neurodivergent children, how it benefits them before they even go on social media, we're empowering them with confidence. We're telling them how they're supposed to be treated, what to look out for, to make them aware. So when they are there, now they've heard different things. They've seen role play, they've seen different things. So where they may not have picked up on it before, now they know it. So we build the confidence before they even go there.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So they can identify. And that is power in itself when you are self-aware at a young age. Instead of waiting till you get grown or older, and now you got all this trauma you got to peel through because you already been through all this trauma. But I feel like what you're doing is going to where you can't erase everything that's certain experiences, but you can minimize it based upon this type of having access to this type of knowledge. And as a resource, I really feel that it's going to help lower depression, lower anxiety, lower panic attacks, and also open up communication and how to communicate. Those soft skills that this generation is losing because of technology. The soft skills. This is helping them with that. So now we're going to go on over, since we're talking about the generation. So I got to go back to LaJoyce because she get the generation when they babies. She get them when they little. So do you feel like what you do, are you looking to evolve, or is there anything that you're doing keeping in mind with the technology that's out, the things that's going on? Is there anything that you're doing and you're expanding, or you have certain things that is your core that you make sure that you do with your babies that's in your presence?
So yes, I have I actually have an autistic room now. And that has really became my passion, is dealing with autistic, because I have a grandson that's autistic. And I have started, I'm still working on the name for it right now, but I had put together where I honored autistic kids and their families. And that was very, very powerful. I was very excited about that. And they're looking forward to, it's every year thing. And I did that for my birthday, to honor my birthday for the month. I didn't want no party. I didn't want none of that. I wanted to honor autistic kids for my birthday month. And so I did that event. And like I said, it was amazing. It was just, but we shared some tears. We cried. We had a good time. And so I truly was very grateful for that.
Oh, child, you done hit me. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, you got me on that. Now I just saw like a short movie on YouTube just a couple nights ago where a mother actually started a autistic child care facility that was for different levels of autism, and how all the parents were saying, we need this because we don't know who to leave our children. And all these children that was autistic was nonverbal. Wow. So when you just said that, I was watching it just a couple of days ago, which I rarely get a chance to watch television. So me sitting down watching television is just a treat. So I was like, man, I know this is supposed to be fictional, but we need this. And then I'm in the midst of somebody doing something. Girl.
Yes. And my grandson, he's autistic nonverbal. And so he's what inspired me. And so I have 2 other kids that comes in that are autistic. 2 of them, they both are nonverbal. And just to be able just to work with them and just see someone may say little words, it's been truly amazing. It's truly amazing. It does my heart so good every day.
And the thing is, I say this all the time because I worked in classrooms like that as well. They may not be using words, but they are communicating. They have certain ways their eyes flicker, certain ways they move. Even if they can't say anything, certain ways that they do things that I want to eat. I don't like this. Oh, I'm happy. I'm scared. I don't quite know what I'm getting ready to do. Because when my son was nonverbal for a extensive amount of time. He was nonverbal. And then one day I was in the kitchen cooking, and I'm always talking to him and different stuff like that, and I'm singing and different little things. And the boy just up and like he went on, this is what he did. He got up went on the kitchen table, sat down in Indian style. And I was like, Isaiah, get down. Sit on top of the furniture now. That's no excuse. Get off that table. And he was like, look, mommy, I can do this. You remember when you were teaching me about physics and gravity. Look.
And he's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I said, what? I said, wait. I just like cried and didn't know what to do. Breathing. Girl, I was just a mess. And my daughter, we just started crying. My daughter was crying. He's talking, right? And clear as day, like he's been talking the entire time. And then I was like, Isaiah, you're talking. He said, I could always talk. I just didn't have anything to say. You took care of everything. I just didn't feel like it wasn't necessary for me to talk. It was a waste of time. Everything got done because we taught him sign language. So we was like, okay, go to the bathroom. You know, we taught him different sign language so that he can at least live. The boy could talk.
Oh my!
Look at God.
I had a very similar experience.
Nonverbal, like they could one day just up and just start talking. There was a mom on social media just this week. Her son was nonverbal. Now the boys speak full Mandarin. They speak English. He start talking and speaking Mandarin. I mean fluent Mandarin. So I'm just saying, one day you might be walking around in that daycare, and all of a sudden you hear a whole conversation. You know, because it's just a different way of thinking. Their brains and how they process information, they are really just a gift. It's a gift of patience, a gift of love, and also help you learn. And in essence, it actually helped draw me closer to God because he was the only person, the only thing that could allow me to have peace in the midst of when I didn't know what to do. When I didn't have anyone that I could talk to, I could talk to him. And then all of a sudden he started opening up different avenues where it was more people like us. And then start doing what I'm doing now. And so look, 30 plus years later, I'm meeting you guys. He just blessed my life. So I'm just saying, all of this is, you're not alone. And so let me put up the conference, the child care QR code in the top left corner. You guys, you can scan that right now and go ahead and get your tickets to the cruise because you think this is something. Wait till you see everybody in person, honey. You think we chattering now. You're going to have a good time. Okay, and so I'm going to end with Dr. Deshonda. Dr. Deshonda, is it, well, before I do that, I want you guys to each tell everybody how they can find you on social media, and then we're going to end with Dr. Deshonda. You can tell us whatever you want to tell us as we close out. So, LaJoy, since we just stopped with you, tell them how they can find you on social media.
Oh, you can find me
your website, however you want to do it.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook under LaJoyce Lewis. You can also find me on my website at www.LaJoycelewis. I'm sorry. It's www.LadyAlesLittleAngelsDaycare.com.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Bertha, tell us where they can find you.
Okay, I'm on all the social media platforms, Bertha Winston, and you can also go to my website at www.retiredanddebtfree.com.
Ooh, no, she didn't.
www.retiredanddebtfree.com.
We'll give you some snaps on that.
Right.
Right.
Let me give you some snaps on that.
Big time.
Dr. Maya, go ahead and tell us where we can find you, my dear, because they need that app.
Well, I have a free gift for everyone. If you want to download my free ebook, The 5 Secrets to Emotionally Support Your Child with Learning Differences Without Burning Out, you can go to mothersofexceptionalkids.com. mothersofexceptionalkids.com and download that free ebook. And if you want to learn more about the app, you can go to caseandconnect.com. That's CASEN connect.com.
Okay, y'all very intentional with these names. I mean, exceptional, I mean, debt free. Y'all ain't playing. Y'all like, listen, let me put a stamp on this. Y'all ain't gonna be confused what I do.
No.
You're not gonna be confused. And now I'm going back to the lady who brought us all together today. Let's give her a round of applause, Dr. Deshonda Jennings. So tell us where we can go, because this lady here, she's not just daycare. I didn't get a chance to say this, but she do books and everything. So you need to get everyone her books for it to help you, and you also need to get her children books. She has a children books line for those of you homeschoolers out there who are looking for some children books. And listen, I'm not just saying it, I have every last one of them.
And she
And
did.
some of them I'm going to give for a giveaway, but some of them I want to keep them for myself, so I got to talk to the Lord for me to give us unto you, because they just so good. But anyway,
can you still
tell
hear
us
me? One of my things went out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. To connect with me, just go to www.10mistakes2avoid.com. That is the number 10, www.10mistakes2avoid.com. Do that. You can connect with me on all social medias. Just go to www.10mistakes2avoid.com. And that's going to give you a free gift. If you wonder, like, how in the world does she do all these things? Go to www.10mistakes2avoid.com. You're going to get 10 different tips on how I do all these things. So just go to that website and you can connect with me. It's going to take you to all the books if you're interested in a book. And y'all, listen, we got a brand new book.
Yes.
Called No More Broke Childcare Programs. And it's not just about the money. It could be about broken your energy, broken your mind, broken your body. So it ain't just meaning broken money-wise. So it's called No More Broke Childcare Programs. Just go to www.10mistakes2avoid.com.
Listen, if you ain't learned anything today from this interview, y'all better learn something about these names they pick for they .coms. Like y'all better stop playing with these .coms. They are very intentional. Like you. Now, I have been doing so many interviews over these 17 years of interviewing, and I have never, ever heard the entire panel be on point with them domains and what they do. Usually it'd be a little confusing sometimes for some people, but it ain't, y'all don't leave no confusion.
No.
Everybody on this panel, they came together. Okay, so you guys, thank you for everything that you do and for shedding light on this topic of childcare, but not only as childcare, but as parents, as community leaders. Let's just say it, as women who serve the Most High, serve God, because all of us, y'all know, y'all done heard it. Y'all ain't got it. We ain't got to hide it. Everybody know. And also just sharing the knowledge and also bringing this information over to the homeschooling community. So for parents who may have never thought about some of this, it actually will help them be able to think about it and see themselves in whatever it is that you do. Because I know many of them want to know more about childcare. They want to know about finances. They want to, a lot of parents start homeschooling because of bullying.
Yes.
You know, and then when you think about what LaJoyce is doing is revolutionary, because it is so fitting for this time when more children are being diagnosed with autism at a higher rate than any time in history, that now she's implementing a safe place for children with autism. Now I know that's we're changing terminologies, quote unquote, give them the quotes. We say neurodivergent, but for people who are not familiar with that term right now, this is amazing. Everybody has something to offer. Everyone has something of value. And I encourage you guys to get in contact. Just don't sit on the sidelines, just looking and listening. I need you to have action. Okay. No more struggling by yourself, feeling like you're alone. You're not alone. You're only alone if you want to be. Okay, you have help. Okay, so reach out to these ladies to get the help that they need, because I can't help you. Don't no, I'm not no financial advisor. No, I did my part. I brought them to you. I do
Dr.
what I
Tina,
do.
I would like to
Yes.
send you my book, The Path to Independence, Financial Independence. So get your information to Deshonda, and I will send you your free book.
Ooh, God, look at God be blessing.
Yes, look at
He'll
that.
be blessing. I sure gonna take that because I want to be with in the kingdom. Okay, you guys, and make sure you see this beautiful lady right here. Yeah, I know you think you're seeing double. Well, you are kind of. You know, that's Dr. Deshonda. She on the cover of this edition of CTR Homeschooling Magazine. And not only is she on the cover, but all of these amazing ladies, they are being featured in this magazine, including some other people as well. So go pick it up on today so that you can learn more about them. They have a detailed bio about them, and also, of course, their information. I want to thank you guys for being the featured guest on our show. Is everybody hearts and mind clear? Is there anything else that you would like to say before we go?
Thank
I
you,
just want to give back a thank you to all the speakers, and I just want the parents that's watching, wherever you are in the world, know that all of these ladies was brought together. It's just not by chance, because one of the things as educators, we deal with children that's neurodivergent every day. So what Dr. Maeva does, we need this as teachers, as business owners. You need to know that way you can better serve your parents. Even back to Dr. Bertha, most of us in the childcare space, we don't have that 401k set up.
That's right.
So it was intentionally to bring her there, not just for our kids, but us, whether you're working for somebody or you're working for yourself. Make sure you reach out and connect to her. If you have not started saving, it's not too late.
No.
With Miss LaJoy, she's a center director, and it just goes to show that God is not a respected person. Not only is she running a child care business, she's out here now. She's a whole speaker, a whole author. So no matter what you do, your gift will make room for you. Connect with us. If you haven't got the Homeschool Magazine to meet the rest of the amazing speakers, make sure you get it today and connect with us, y'all. Thank you so much, Dr. Tina.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Oh,
Yeah.
it
Thank
was
you,
my
ladies.
pleasure. Yes, it was my pleasure, you guys. Thank you for sharing your gift, skills, and talents. And we just had us a good time, helping people and having fun at the same time on this good old Thursday.
Yes.
So you guys have a great, amazing rest of your day. Give your kids a hug and a kiss, and thank God that they're home safe, because many times, sad to say, it's a blessing to be able to see your family every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes you get stressed.
Yeah.
Yes, we all get stressed, but take the time to give yourself grace and take the time to be grateful for what you do have.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you have way more than what you're thinking about what you don't have.
That's right.
Okay. So until next time,
all right,
I will see you guys later. Make sure to subscribe to CTR Homeschooling TV. You can download the app on today at ctrmedianetwork.com. You can watch this interview as well as many other interviews and TV shows, because it's not just about this show, it's about the whole CTR Media Network family, that they have some amazing shows. So check them out today. And you guys, I'm going to put up the QR code again. Go ahead and scan it and get your tickets today for the cruise, because you need a vacation and you need to learn, okay? And you want to have a good time. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great, amazing rest of your day. Talk to you later.
You too. All right.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of CTR Homeschooling TV, where families learn, grow, and thrive together. Stay connected, stay inspired, and remember, you're never homeschooling alone. Subscribe to us today on all social media platforms, and don't forget to join our CTR Homeschooling community and order our curriculum today by visiting our website at ctrhomeschooling.com. That's ctrhomeschooling.com, where we help you homeschool with clarity and confidence. And did you know that you can now watch our podcast on TV by simply downloading the CTR Media Network app today on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, iOS app, Google Play, and so much more. So until next time, keep educating with purpose. See you next time.